Hello and welcome to another video, and today, as you can see, we're on MotoGP 19 once again, and first of all I'm going to say apologies for not loading for about a week. I've been just quite busy, had a couple of exams to do, so yeah, that's why, so apologies for that, but we are back today, and we're back with another track mod, as you'll have seen by the title and thumbnail, and it's a bit different, where there's no models actually being changed at all this time. I'm just porting the, the splines, if you know what that means, from not MotoGP, from Ride 3 to MotoGP 19. Basically, I'm going to be playing the Donington. I actually don't know the layout. The national layout, I think, is the actual name of it. So basically, where you don't go around the Fogarty S's in the Melbourne Loop, you go through Roberts instead. So without further ado, we will start it. We've got the 2020 mod on as well. You can see there is probably some kind of 181 rider vibe going on here. As you can see, there's not as many grid spots, unfortunately, in the Ride 3 version, so that is why they just spawn on top of each other, which is what happens with the 181 riders as well. They run out of grid spots because there's so many riders, so they just start spawning on top of each other, which is hence why you see that here. So, yeah, it's not great. We've got the Mission Winnow livery back on as well. First I've used this in quite a while, but we'll get off the line. Apparently I'm in 12th, even though I can see that I'm going around the outside up into the lead. So I'm in 7th, apparently. I'm going around the outside of Quartararo. I've just took the lead, but I'm in 7th position. Now, one thing you do have to watch out for, because I actually kind of forgot to change it. Oh no, those other riders are really far in front, apparently. I don't know how that's happened. Have a look at that on the replay. We're past Quartararo now. But yeah, one thing I did not remember to do before this race, you have to be careful with the track limits. Because the track limits are really, really harsh for some reason. With this mod, I don't really know why. You'd probably be thinking there's nothing changed so far other than the grid spots. You know, as you've seen, not a lot's changed. But we will see something. The first thing you probably notice is the direction that the rider's leg sticks out when I brake. I'm hoping that Dovi does stick his leg out now when I do this. Yes, he sticks out to the right because he knows it's a right-hander coming up. And I've gone in way too hot through it. Watch what AI do though. They just straight line it because they don't know how to take it properly. So we're back down to 8th place by Jean Mir, but we've got a slipstream on him to the left hand side, braking for Redgate. Down into, oh no, we're not getting that stopped. We're not getting that stopped. Off into the gravel we go. That's a lot of positions gone for us. Yeah, nothing awfully too exciting in this video. I needed something quick to do because it's a little bit late, so I didn't really want to record a 181 rider video just because I get really loud and excited in those videos, obviously for obvious reasons. So apologies for that, but hopefully I'll be able to record some of those. I might record one of those tomorrow, and hopefully maybe even get it up tomorrow as well for you guys, because it's not fair that you've had to wait for so long. Again, I apologise, but not a lot I can do. This is something I just messed around and made like a while ago, so I thought I'd show it off because I think it's quite interesting. It kind of shows you the potential, and some people obviously wondering sort of how the Ride 3 sort of tracks can be ported to this game. Well, not very well, as you can see. Obviously, this kind of thing. Whoa, Rossi is just I've been killed by Rins. I've been killed by Rins. Look at how they're taking the chicane. Oh God. So right, so it's Dovi, Rossi, Rins at the back. Right, not too good. So we're starting the last. You see, I got a penalty as well. I'm not really sure where I picked that up from, but we will look at the replay after the race. Actually, you know. Let's hope that the replay music isn't copyrighted, because it was on Ride 3. That was fun. I remember that. I did a modding tutorial video on Ride 3, and because I was showing off in the menu afterwards, the menu music was copyrighted, and I was showing off the mod that I'd made, just to show that it worked, and I got demonetized for it, which is always fun. So hopefully the same thing doesn't happen here. My rear tyre is on fire, by the way. I don't know if that's just because of the way I'm riding or what have you. Marquez seems to have just stole the win right at the end from Morbidelli, because I bet they're about to cross the line now. Yep, they have, because AI don't get penalties, which is nice. So a scraped Ducati approaches the end. They do go very slow. There's been a crash for Aleix Espargaro. Oh, Rins has hit us 2 laps in a row there. Rossi sent us across the gravel. Oh, look at the run to the line. Are we going to beat him? I mean, we got a penalty, so we're going to drop behind them. But oh, Rins smacked us across the gravel there. Cameras will take us to the podium to see the award ceremony. But in the meantime, oh, we beat Aleix. We beat Aleix Espargaro. That's all that matters. And obviously you can see the lap time. 56-1 for Marquez. So there was some sort of bug off the start. So we're going to have a look at that. I don't think you can... Can you spectate people that are on the floor? Yeah, you can. Right, so where is Marquez? Why is he over here? Oh, so they just spawned round the corner. There was no tricky business in terms of, like, they'd skipped parts. They literally just spawned further around the track than everyone else. Yeah, so that's where the front guys... we'll watch... who should we watch on board with? Bang Nye's in second here. Oh, so Morbidelli's in second. So Marquez... Should we watch on board with Marquez? So how do we get to Marquez? Okay, so we're actually on board with him. We're going to stay on board with him in this camera angle, just to see what he does for the chicane. You see he's backing it through. The game doesn't. The game knows you're coming through a corner, but doesn't know what corner it is because, again, it's just fast from ride 3. And you can see they sort of go to take the chicane like they would. I think if you notice here, he kind of wants to go to the right hand side of the track and then realizes no, that's not what he's got to do, because there's a couple of different files that sort of indicate which way they take certain corners, and I've only changed one of them, which is actually tells them the path, and there's another one that sort of tells them how to take that path, which I think is why they straight lined this. Now I would have sorted that out for the video, but I don't have access to the Ride 3 versions currently because I'd have to extract them from the game, and that takes about an hour maybe to do an extraction, especially for Ride 3 because it's a lot bigger than MotoGP 19. So apologies for that, but I didn't want to wait for ages trying to do that. But yeah, we're watching it in real time. So look at Marquez here. He comes flying into Roberts, just straight lines it, straight lines second half, spins up the rear wheel right to the curb on the exit, and there we go. So actually, I think we'll watch an onboard lap. We'll watch Morbidelli, because Morbidelli... how did he actually get in front of Marquez on the last lap then? So this is Morbidelli. I'm guessing what he did was he just crashed into the side of him or something, or crashed and overtook him. Wait, actually, he was making mad gains on him. Should we watch his... We're going to watch the entirety of the last lap on board with Franco Morbidelli. Oh, I've just swapped from him already. But we will watch it from the replay camera instead. So we're going to watch the last lap on board with Franco Morbidelli. So he'd made massive amounts of time up on Marquez on lap 2 somehow. Not sure why or how. Maybe it's just an example of the AI performance being a bit broken. Qatar maybe, but not really since. The AI are a little bit all over the place. Quartararo is not very good at most tracks, and then he's like quite good at a couple, but he's not actually as good as he was in real life. So you can see, look how many, how much time Morbidelli's made up on Marquez here. So out of, I think it's Coppice, isn't it, that one? Down the straight, they're coming flying down the straight. Look, oh, he just dives for the inside. Oh, that's what's happened to him then. Camera angle, yeah, actually go to the... Whoa, what the hell are you doing? Okay. So what they normally do is they turn in really early for this, and then sort of straight line over the second one. But what he's kind of done the broken AI dive, if you've seen that before. I'm sure you probably have. I've seen it in races where the AI will just come from miles behind and just dive up the inside, and that's exactly what Morbidelli's done here. So he's absolutely nowhere near, like, he's close up to Marquez a lot, yeah, but he's not within a dive bomb distance. Maybe in an online lobby, some people might think that's a good dive bomb distance. It's not. But, you know, whatever. That's just some people online. We all know him. We all know, you know, what kind of people I'm on about. But Morbidelli's gone for this dive bomb, right? And if we have a look, Marquez has hit the brakes. Hang on. Marquez hit the brakes about at this white line, a little before. Yeah, so like about here, he's hit the brakes then. So, and the Morbidelli. Let's try and get to the first part where he hits the brakes. So he's tucked in, he sits up so he's tucked in the whole way down here, and he sits up about here, and he starts to sit up. So we'll say that as a benefit of the doubt then for braking. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 seconds later, okay, maybe not 5 seconds because that wasn't really fair, was it? But Morbidelli is still on the power. In fact, actually, it's interesting to listen to. I know this has gone from oh, mod video 2. Let's analyse Morbidelli's dive bomb on Marquez, but I think that's quite funny. I don't know why. But if you listen, I'll shut up for a second. He got out of the throttle and then got back on it again. So if we actually go on board with him, I don't know if the AI speed works. It does. So yeah, you can watch the speed here. Watch it drop and then go back up. So it goes up to 280 kilometers an hour, doesn't it? Yes. So it goes up to 280. It slows down. He slows down to 268, and then that's him lifting, and then he gets back on the gas and goes back up to about 175 again. Yeah, so he actually hits he hits 275 kilometers, and as soon as he hits that, he gets back on the brakes again. And look at the closing speed, because if you go on board with Marquez, oh, Marquez is okay. No, it's just still more, but Marquez is doing about nearly 100 kilometers an hour slower than him, because at this point he's doing 180 kilometers an hour, and Morbidelli is doing 270 here. So this dive bomb is never on, because he's going about 70-80 kilometers an hour faster than him in the braking zone. So to compensate for that, he's at a turn earlier, which again, as I'm sure you've seen before, the AI do this a lot. They like to dive bomb from really far behind. I might even put a clip in of them doing it. If I didn't put a clip in it of them doing it, get annoyed at me in the comments, because I should have done. I'll probably just get some from one of my videos or something. I've got plenty of evidence of it. So they like to do these random dives for absolutely no reason, from nowhere. So, and then they turn in really early, and they always cut the corner. Well, the problem is, he's already cutting the corner anyway, because they don't know how to take it properly. And he's cutting it at, in fact, we can do a comparison of the speed again. I love it how, again, I'm going to comment on this, I love it how it's gone from a mod video to, let's analyse Morbidelli dive bombing. But he's hit this grass, so when we say when he actually gets on the grass, in fact, he slows down quite drastically. So about 195 kilometers an hour when his front wheel hits the grass, ish, something like that. So if we then now switch to Marquez, keep going the wrong way. Marquez hits the grass 119 kilometers an hour, so he's going about 80 kilometers an hour faster still over the grass. Well, he's never going to save it. And that's what's happened to him. I don't know why I've done a deep analysis on Morbidelli's dive bomb, and I don't know why this is the third time I've mentioned it, but Morbidelli, he's tried to go about 80 kilometers an hour quicker. Well, the bike is not turning, so he's got on the brakes as he's gone in midair. I think he's literally gone so fast he's took off, and then, well, his first contact back with the ground is still at full lean. He's not tried to straighten up at all. He's gone full lean into the gravel after going, you know, going up in the air. Like, he was never going to stay on. I mean, Marquez is sliding that rear end through the gravel just like he don't care. But Morbidelli has cost himself a good position there. I mean, that dive bomb was never on. I think we've discussed that in length now at this point. So let's have a look at us further back. I was playing as Dovey, wasn't I? That's bad, I've already forgotten that. You can see Alicia's back row. See, I've tried to somewhat take the corner properly, and Rins, I think Rins has actually done the same thing to Rossi as what Morbidelli has done to me. Not to me, to Marquez. Which is, yes, exactly the case. It's actually not quite as bad, although he got on the gas closer to the corner, so it's probably slightly worse. But he was closer, at least. That, to be fair, it'd be a hard move, but I'd say that's the maximum distance you could have a look at a dive bomb. Online lobby, you definitely get someone dive from that far behind, especially that last corner. I don't know, you could maybe dive from someone if they weren't a similar skill level to you from that far back. Someone same skill level, no, not a chance. But then not Morbidelli, so Rins actually took off on the grass, landed back on the grass still at full lean, then hit me, done a stoppie into the gravel, and got on the power, and stayed on. What is this? What is this? So, let me get this straight. Rins has took off on the grass, right? he's got both wheels up in the air, right? So he's at full lean, airborne. He should be falling off the bike at this point. I don't know why it's gone back to me instead of him. He's now landed on his front wheel in the grass, right? This is full... Well, I've just put the camera right on my bike. But he's full compression, full lean on the grass, right? And now... he's then hit me, which has then put him at this angle. Bear in mind, I'm now also airborne as well. What is this physics engine? He's airborne for the second time. Because of this, which is just fantastic. He's then landed back on his front wheel at this angle. He's landed like this on his front wheel. And then, I'm sorry I'm laughing so much, but look at this. This is unbelievable. He's on his front wheel, and it's not even landed on it properly. He's turning the forks. Right, so there's one thing being lean angle while landing, right? He's literally got the forks turned and he's landing on the side of the tyre that's pointing towards the track. That would probably break the bike, let alone make him fall off it. Right? Well, look at me as well at the same time. It's not much better, really. But not only has he's managed to control this, right? So he's moved. He's actually sort of started to straighten his bike up, and now he's in the gravel at this angle, right? Which, that's a crash. That's when you lose the front and fall off. He's gone past the limit of no return, but he's entered at this. Usually that would be you're trying to stop in the gravel, and well, you're trying to stop on the track, and you've just ran into the gravel. You're just trying to stop right at the last minute, and you're going to crash. But no, he's gone full speed. He's got back on the gas, which has flicked the bike round and put the front back in line. He's then got on the brakes for whatever reason, come back on the track and just completely blocked Valentino. I mean... Obviously, as a player, I can see this coming. He's hit me. I mean, I've done some sort of... Oh, okay. Like, my thing wasn't so bad. I could see maybe that potentially being something you could stay on if you were lucky, but, like, no. I'd probably still crash as well. Well, Rossi's just decided to cut the corner because that's what they have all done. And I've seen that Rins is coming straight back on the track in front of him, so I'm going to just avoid the pair of them. And Rossi's tried to go to the right hand side, but he still had to get out of it. And obviously I'm on the Ducati, so up towards the line, I beat him. Obviously I got the penalty. So yeah, interesting to say the least. Not really sure how I spent so much on analysis of a video, but we watched a lot of the replays because I think that was kind of more of what the action was happening with the AI and not me. But yeah, that's what happens when you try and stick ride 3 files in MotoGP 19. It doesn't like it very much, and it doesn't behave properly. The physics, that's just because the game's broke, not really anything to do with it. Anything I've done, like, the game just thinks that it's acceptable for Rins to be able to do that. I kind of feel bad for Morbidelli now. After watching that stuff with Rins, you're just like, you know what, I can see why I thought a dive bomb was on if that's how the physics are in this universe. Like, you would have thought he'd have been shooting for the victory, but no. I mean, he still got third, so it didn't really cost. It cost him 1 place, so it wasn't that bad. But you know, whatever. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. I know it was just a bit. This was a random video I think I've made in my whole life. I know, like, I've done some random mods, but literally I've done a random mod and then just gone on a random unrelated topic of analysing AI dive bombing each other, which, you know, it is still fun. I'm not gonna lie, I quite enjoyed it. But I hope you guys did as well. Obviously, I've been taking the mick a bit as well out of the stuff they've been doing and treating it as if it's natural, like, sort of collision. If you want to see, well, I say if you want to see more of this, this is literally, other than Laguna Seca, the only track that's in both games, so I can't really port other layouts over. Jerez isn't, is it? No. I think it might have been for a minute, but no, it's not. I'm going to try and carry on with the track mods. Obviously, I did Imola a while ago. I've not really worked on it much because I've been quite busy, like I said. But I think that could come out eventually. Obviously, it'll be broken with the grid slots, but it's better than nothing. I think, as well, yeah, I'll just say, I think it's possible you make your own tracks. If you knew how to use Unreal Engine, I don't see why you couldn't make your own tracks, because the files seem very, very compatible with each other, so if you just got a sort of a vague idea of how to do it, obviously you could make all the models yourself, it's fine, it's not very hard, you could actually reuse milestone files for that kind of thing. all you'd need to do is make the splines. That's basically it. Splines in gameplay, which is what stops you from like corner cutting and like loads and going out. But actually, you can corner cut loads on this game, can't you? It stops you from going like out of bounds and stuff. So basically, is what it is. Also, I think it does detect if you've gone off track, so it does stop you from. It gives you a penalty if you corner cut, but they don't respawn you for doing it anymore, do they? But enough rambling. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and I shall see you in the next one.